Welcome to another episode of Outdoors with Nico. So today we're going to be doing a military wild camp. So we're going to use military issued gear. Obviously we're going to use a Bergen. We're going to use a British Army basha. We're going to use a military bivvy bag. We're going to use a blanket instead of a sleeping bag, and we're going to use a military roll mat. Also, as our cooking system, we're going to use a military cooking pot system. So basically that's what it is. So today's wild camp is a military. We're going to get set up, get everything in order, and I'll take you through the steps and then we'll get our camp going. So let's get to it. And I think just here is a perfect little spot to set up our camp. So we'll get the camp set up here and then we'll get ready to get everything on the go. Now the setup I'm going to go with is I'm going to go with the envelope setup with the tarp sheet. So we're going to set up a ridge line across here and we're going to have a slight angled roof coming down, and then we're going to use the other half of the tarp as a ground sheet or a footprint, whatever you want to call it. So then we're going to use it like that, and that is the system we're going to use today. So here we have the tarp sheet, basha, however you want to address it. But this is what we have. So we're going to align this in the envelope formation just across the ridge line. Now the benefits of having it this way is when finished and complete, you will have a little shelter, a low profile shelter, but you will also have a ground sheet as well, which is perfect, especially when you're going out with minimal kit. So you will peg out the back like so, on the corners and across the middle, just like that. This will then create yourself a little shelter, but I'm going to show you how to build it up a little bit so it gives you a little bit more room inside the back. You're going to then pull the other part of the tarp sheet through the bottom from the bit that you've pinned down at the back to create yourself a ground sheet. This is ideal if you don't want to bring a lot of kit, and this is multi-useful, so it will be your shelter, your ground sheet, and you can just put your bivvy bag on. Now you also have little toggles at the back which you can use to pull out with a bit of paracord and make the back more in depth so you can sleep better further in. That one's not perfect because of the tree choice, but you get the gist. You can see the shelter just there. Now using this kind of equipment, it has a lot of benefits to doing so. So basically it blends in with your surroundings. Obviously with the camo effect, it blends in with the surroundings. It's low profile, but also it's very lightweight. So the tarp sheet and shelter is very lightweight. You don't really have to carry much in your bag, which makes it better for you if you're walking a long distance or if you just don't want to use a lot of kit. Now we're going to get the bivvy bag out, which is also camo, and it's also a military bivvy bag too. This is what we're going to use to bed down in, so we're going to get our sleeping system inside this. We're also going to use a military issued sleeping mat. Now, I think this is it Swedish? Swedish or German, I can't remember, but it is a military sleeping mat. This one has a foam inside, so when you blow it up, it has a foam inside. It is self-inflating, but I like to blow them up myself because it goes up quicker. And yeah, so it is pretty comfortable. It's not like a lot of the other stuff, but it's military used. So yeah, we're going to be using the military. This as well, it's not that heavy either. Now that that's done, we'll get this inside the bivvy bag, and that's our sleeping system ready. They're very good and they're very comfortable as well. They're quite thick, but they're not too heavy. These bivvy bags, they also have, so they have an external opening zip, which obviously closes the bivvy bag in fully, but it also has a bug net inside. So when you get inside, you don't have to fully zip up the head space. You can just basically sleep with the bug net over your face, well, over the shelter. Now this one is a hooped bivvy. So it also comes with a little tent pole, which you can use to put in the headspace to raise the headspace up. But for this camp, we're underneath a tarp. We won't be using the hooped part of the bivvy. We'll be just getting inside the bivvy like it's a sleeping bag. So let's get the sleeping mat inside. Now when I come out with this setup, I bring myself my little pillow. It's very light, it's very small, but it gives you something to lean your head on. But I also have this like wool hoodie. Now I've had this a long time and it works really well. It works really well as a pillow, but also if you get a little bit cold, you can just use the smaller pillow, unravel this and use it as a jacket, as an extra layer of heating. So yeah, that's what I use for my sleeping system. Now I did say I was going to use a blanket, but I didn't bring the roll blanket. I forgot the roll blanket. So we're going to go with the military green sleeping bag, and that will be the thing that will finalize our sleeping system. So that is the final issued item for our sleeping system. Now let's get that in. So let's have an overview of the actual camp. So we have the tarp sheet, the basha, which is also a ground sheet. We have the military bivvy bag. We also have the military sleeping mat. We also have a sleeping bag as well, which is inside there. So that is 2 layers of heating to wrap yourself up in on a cold day. Now, if you're really wanting to avoid detection, sometimes what I bring along is a ghillie suit. Now you can get them in all forms and all types and styles. Some are better than others, but this one is just a cheap one, but it serves its purpose. It has trousers and it has a jacket and it has a gloves and it has a head thing. So yeah, sometimes I bring this along just to put on, and that means when you're walking around your camp, you're not going to be seen because you're going to blend in. And also if you're laying down inside your shelter, just relaxing, you're covered. You ain't got the skin on shore, you ain't got your face on shore, you ain't got your normal clothes on shore. You're literally blending in with the surroundings behind you, below you and above you. Now I know in this next part of the video you're probably expecting the campfire, how to set up the campfire. Well, in this camp we ain't going to be having one because we're going to try to go ultimate stealth. So a campfire can bring attention to you, smoke, flames, visuals. But I know there's ways that you can stop that or avoid that in a certain way, where you can create a Dakota fire pit, which creates less smoke. It's in the ground, so it's not visible as much from above the ground. But today we are going to go fully stealth, where we don't want any detection at all. So we will just be using a simple stove and gas canister for our cooking food. And as promised, we'll be using a military style cook set. Now this one, people name it the kidney bean cook set. It's got a little name, kidney bean cook set. It comes with a frying pan. It's in the shape of a kidney bean. It comes with a little frying pan. It always comes with a mini frying pan, a mini pot, should I say. And then it'll come with a big, deeper boiling pot, cooking pot pan, which you can hang off stuff if you use a campfire. But also you can use this on your stove too. It works perfectly well. So that is the kit that we'll be using today, a military cook set. Now people ask me, why do I use this kind of stuff? Why do I use the military stuff? Why do I use the stuff, the camo stuff and this kind of wild camping stuff? You can get this tent, that sleeping mat, that sleeping bag, this, that and the other. For me, there's different kinds of wild camping, different kinds of survival camping, different types of people that like to do this kind of stuff. And for me, that other side of stuff is more influencer based, like more, selfie picture stuff, the bright colours, the, hello, look at me kind of stuff. For me, I like to use traditional stuff that really gives you that feel, that rustic feel, where you get involved there, you feel like it. You have a character you look like, This is me, how I like to dress. I like to dress like this. I like to sleep like this. I don't like to use tents as much. I like to be out in the open. So for me, it wouldn't fit for me to make videos as much with stuff like that kind of stuff, because it ain't me. I ain't gonna try and invest myself into something I'm not invested in and interested in myself as much. I like it this way. I like the survival stuff. I like the bushcraft stuff. And I'm sure there's a lot of viewers that do like that stuff also. So this is our wild camp stealth setup, which compromises of the military cook set, the bivvy bag, sleeping bag, military sleeping mat, and the army basha as a shelter and a ground sheet. And this is how we will sleep tonight. Anyway, you lovely lot, I'm sure you've had enough of me jabbering on, but if you like this kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button, take a look around the videos, send me a like so I know I'm doing things right, and get yourself out and try one of these at some point moving forward going wild camping. And if you ever want to see what I use and want to know exactly what I'm using, then go into my bio and it'll tell you just in there. Anyway guys, thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.